pulled off to the side of the road, we got the all new Limited Tacoma 2024 redesign. The Limited is kind of like that luxury pickup truck. You got that chrome accents, you got that unique grille here. None of the other trim levels have this piece. Now, it is still pretty easy to take this off if you want it. You even have those recovery hooks down there that have easy access to, but you can take off that front snowplow with just a few bolts. It's not hard to do. I like the functional gills here that go around that fender. You got the polished aluminum wheels that look pretty strong here. I typically don't like shiny wheels, but I like how it complements the red quite well. You see that limited grade, chrome mirrors, chrome handles, and I pop this open. We have the automatic liftgate, which is standard here on this Limited pickup truck. And then we have the 5-foot bed, 6 foot is optional. Actually, Matt over there on his truck, he's got the 6-foot bed. It's pretty neat. Got the chromed out tip here. Toyota said these rear bumpers are plastic, but they're easy to customize. On the higher trims like the TRD Pro and the Trail Hunter, you'll have the ARB metal bumper, but you know, I like how they make this customizable. And they said, they kept reiterating, they made every part of this truck with enthusiasts in mind to be able to customize it. Now this Limited also has this chromed out Tacoma lettering here on the tailgate, more of that aluminum here on that handle, which is not really a handle, it's just kind of like a liftgate button. You also have the open and close for the liftgate here built into the side that we saw from the Tundra. And I like the lettering here on the liftgate. I want to show you one more thing with this liftgate, because Toyota's doing some pretty cool stuff with it, is that if I just pick it up, it'll automatically take over, so I don't have to strain my biceps. We also have recovery hooks back here, and then you also have these additional jack points for the truck. So spare tire under there. Inside we're going to have a 400 watt accessory port, and this is like kind of like a pre-production, so not all the materials are finished here. But you know, on the iForce Max, or the iForce Max, you'll have a 2400 watt piece there. A slidable rear window. Let's go ahead and get in the back seat. This seat is set up for me at 6'1", and my bag is almost stuck behind it. You know, it's doable. Headroom's okay, so that's the good news. I could be back here for short periods of time, but if you have someone over 6'1", it's going to be pretty tight back here. A couple USBs in the back, additional household plug-in, 400 watts as well. I like the cup holders that are you know, available here. No fold-down armrest, but speaking of folding, is that we can lift up this seat here, and you have a bunch of storage underneath both cushions in the back. So that's a nice feature if you want to hide some extra drinks or whatever you guys are doing there. Now, in the front, we got a sunroof here on the Limited, digital rearview mirror, 360 camera. We have that removable JBL speaker, which is pretty cool for Bluetooth connectivity. I like this faux wood trim quite a bit that goes across the dash, the dark Tacoma lettering. I like this light gray interior, and look how many different shadings. It's kind of a medium, dark, and light gray, so it's not just monotone. I appreciate that. Armrest here. No lights in there, but there is a felt bottom piece, a rubber bottom piece to the cup holders here. This is all plastic, but it's the same pattern as we have on this rubber gasket here. A couple high powered 45 watt USB-Cs. USB-C also on the back of the screen for Android Auto if you want to do it wired. Love the volume knob, love the radial knobs here for climate control. Very functional. There's your trailer connect, start button. And then the Limited has this big 12-inch digital screen on the back, as well as the head-up display. So lots of features. I mentioned the JBL, lots of features in this truck for the money. Let's go ahead and start driving it. Underneath the hood is the iForce Max, 278 horsepower, 317 pound-feet of torque, made it to an 8-speed auto. Going to be able to get over 20 miles per gallon in most grades, especially on the highway. We're in the Toyota Media Drive just outside of LA. We're in the all-new Toyota Tacoma, the best-selling midsize pickup truck here, and there's a lot of changes. New platform, new engine, new technology all the way around. And I'll tell you right now, we drove, me and Matt Moran from Matt Moran Motoring, we drove the 2019 previous gen out here. This truck feels lighter and quieter all at the same time. It's a strange feeling. It just feels a lot more nimble just from that first turn I've taken. I actually haven't driven the new Tacoma on the street yet. This is my raw first impressions. And I want to take this auto camera off since I'm not doing any off-roading. That way I can keep the map up here. Oh my gosh, that response off the line is so much better than the old V6. That torque, I don't feel like I have to rev the engine to get anywhere. And already the 8-speed auto in here is satisfactory. It's kind of in the background, where in the V6 of the old gen of that Taco right there, that thing likes to gear hunt, and the V6 just never seem like a good match with that 6-speed automatic. Now the steering in here is super light, and that's something like compared to the Frontier that I really adored. That steering's super heavy and it feels really connected. I don't feel that quite yet, but I have this drive mode select, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in sport mode. Yes, the steering stiffened up, but not nearly as stiff as I like. It still feels quite light in here. And this might have the proactive driving assist feature on, which I'd have to go through the menu to disable, but that's a part of Toyota Safety Sense 3.0. And the proactive driving assist will slow you down around turns. It felt like it did that there, but maybe I'll do it here as well, or get into the brake late to see what it does. Yeah, it did it there as well. So that's one of the things, like, it's not that easy to get back into the Toyota software. You kind of have to run through Android Auto to do it, take your eyes off the road. There's the inbuilt software here. The problem is now it's like I gotta swipe through the car settings. Now on Lexus models, you disable the safety features from the center screen. So that's what got me confused, because I believe it's actually right here in this instrument cluster here. So turning that off for a little sanity on my drives. Oh man, see, I can't even do it. I'm not even gonna bother to do it. I'll have to do it at my next stop because I don't want to miss my next turn. So that's one of the downfalls of being everything in the touchscreen, is you have to, because right now I'm not even pressing the brake. It's slowing me down, almost turning the vehicle for me as well. But yeah, I love the beautiful screen real estate, and it is high resolution. It is optically bonded, so you don't get a lot of smudges or glares. But yeah, getting out of Android Auto is not the easiest thing to do. But I haven't got this truck set up for me. Of course, if I had this for a loaner, I would take care of all that safety stuff beforehand, and figure it out before I get on the road. But no, I feel really comfortable in here. I'm even in Sport Plus. So if I go to, actually I was just in Sport Normal. There is a Sport Plus as well. I felt the transmission downshift. Pedal down. So much quieter than the old engine. Yeah, very, very impressive. Now I want to get into comfort mode, because that's a part of being in this Limited, is that you can select a softer suspension here, and it should soak up the bumps a lot better. The steering has gotten a little bit lighter as a result as well. So yeah, I like how you can customize it. I just wish it was a little bit more aggressive with stiffening up the steering in the more aggressive sport modes. But overall, yeah, it drives a lot better. The road manners are already way better here compared to the old outgoing Toyota Tacoma. So wow, you can actually hear that turbo hiss as you go up the mountain and going up the hills. Like, that is satisfactory. If you've driven the GR Corolla or seen my videos on that, Toyota allowed that turbo hiss to be present and be a little bit more rewarding. But you don't always hear it either. I feel like you hear it most if you're if it likes to dig out of the current gear you're in and going uphill, because I don't hear it when I'm accelerating all the time. But it's a nice improvement of the experience if you're more of an enthusiast to hear that turbo hiss. I'm gonna get onto the brakes hard here. Has a nice strong initial bite. Typically Toyota's brake feels are pretty dead. They are linear though, and I got that here, but I got a stronger initial bite than I was expecting. So it seemed like the Limited double cab, which there's only one, at the press event for the media to drive. So we all had to like fight and scrap over it, but it was for good reason. I think the Limited was just, it had everything. It drove great. It looked good. You know, a lot of us wanted the wheels to be darked out or the handles to be darked out because, you know, the younger generation, you know, we don't like bright, shiny things. I don't know. We like the shadows, I guess. So I didn't get a chance to drive the iForce Max, the hybrid. That will be in the spring. And the limited variant of the iForce Max will be 4x4 all the time. Here in this model, I was driving it in rear wheel drive the whole time. The price of this guy, base MSRP before destination, before options. So I don't know what the options are going to cost. I don't know exactly what are the options loaded on here. So I would say mid 50s would be my guess, about 55K after destination and the options tacked on. Also in the bed, I didn't show you guys the integrated high output air compressor. It's hidden on the left side of the bed. And also in that little cubby where the air compressor hides is 2 USB ports, and I think also a 12 volt in there as well. And then on the opposite side of the bed, like I showed you, there's that 400 watt, 110, I think it's 110 volt AC power adapter as well. I really see the Limited as a smaller option to something like the Tundra Capstone. You get not quite the same level of luxury on the seats, but it is a better truck for around town. If you're not hauling people in the backseat all the time, it's a much better truck for that. And if you're towing smaller objects or not towing at all, of course, is a much better option than the Tundra and saving you tons of money along the way as well. So Tacoma Limited rides great, looks good, equipped well, and yeah, the downfalls of the previous Tacoma with gear hunting and anemic performance, that's all out the window. It's a match made in heaven with the 2.4 turbo 8-speed automatic. I didn't have high expectations for it, but the more I drove it, the more fun I had with it. And yeah, I think the Tacoma is going to have no problem staying on top of that midsize pickup segment as the king of smaller pickup trucks here in the United States.